Can we just, on a small tangent, when you mention you take notes when you're being lazy, what do those notes look like? Are they like
They look
doodles?
like either a yellow pad or a BlackBerry in those days or an iPhone in these days. I'll write the subject matter and then just email myself a note. Here's a good idea. Here's a good idea. And those, or it might be scribbling on a pad. And then I'll assemble, if they're done digitally, then I'll assemble them into one long Word file. And then I'll look at them and go, here's an idea, here's an idea, here's an idea, and see if it comes to anything. See if I can aggregate them together and then read through them. If there's anything coherent there. A character like this, a character like that. This would be a funny line. This is a line for the main character. Actually make the main character work like this, or what about this relationship? As a start to just play around with, what about if we start in that place, go to that place, just start to play around with all of the different bits and pieces. And we begun to flesh out some flow for the start of the game, and this idea you'd start in dusty American West, which meant we didn't have to make too many trees, and then go to Mexico and then come back. And we had a sort of loose flow, and I was really scared of writing any actual dialogue. And I didn't have a clue how to go about it. And it'll come. And then, and I could postpone it for ages because we were doing GTA 4 and I kept worrying about it. And then my work was wrapped on GTA 4, but the game wasn't out yet. And we've done a bunch of the marketing stuff. And I had a little window when I wasn't doing much else. And I took a week with my then girlfriend, now wife, who was heavily pregnant with our first child. And we went up to a house upstate and sat there she sat there either cooking for me or watching TV or reading. And I went and sat in the room all day, every day, and just sat there and stared at the computer and tried to think about, how can I do this that it doesn't sound ridiculous? How can you write in a cowboy idiom that feels both slightly contemporary, but also gives the game this sort of life and this weight that I want it to have, and think we can get away with? And after about 3 days, it just started to come. And then suddenly I wrote about 9-10 scenes in the next couple of days. And after that, I knew I had it. And it was I don't know if that was why there was so much about a character caring about his family, because I was just beginning the process of having a family.
Oh,
so I don't know to what extent that bled in there, but I think it bled in there to some extent.
So that was part of the creating the 360-degree characters.
I think so.
Here's this man that is capable, is involved in a lot of violence, but he also cares about his family.
He's grown up and is trying to step away from that and be a man, be a grown up. And can he get away from it? And then when he can't get away from it, what's he willing to do to save his family? And that was, I felt, starting to get some idea, feeling she hadn't given birth yet, but I was beginning to grapple with the ideas of, I'm going to become a parent. So I hope some of that, and obviously then I probably didn't write any more for 6 months. So later on I had a child, but certainly for that first bit, I think some of that began to bleed in there.